Save me from this road I'm on. There may be crying. There will be the drink.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, thanks for watching Make Me Smart on YouTube. A little something we like to call Economics on Tap. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And let us know what's in your glass. Cheers.
I don't even know how you do that.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, my goodness. There we go. There we go. Holy cow. Restart.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. We made it. I'm Molly Wood. Welcome to Make Me Smart. Happy Hour Friday. Economics on Tap. Hallelujah.
It is honestly my favorite day of this podcast. As we talked about yesterday, we're naming them now, and this one is just Economics on Tap because Kai and Molly get to have drinks on a Friday afternoon after terrible weeks. So you can see this on our YouTube channel. It's Marketplace APM, first of all. We are not doing live stream today for a whole lot of reasons, but we're going to get back to that, I promise. And I, just because I have the microphone now, I'm going first. I'm having the OG of West Coast IPAs, Stone IPA. Although I will say, Greg Cook, founder and listener to this podcast, I don't like the new labels, man. I like the original labels. That's all I'm saying.
No, he's getting the call out. This is serious.
Well, you know. Look,
they'll be changed by Tuesday.
If you don't use the influence you have, what's the use of having the influence? That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. Audience of one.
Oh my goodness.
Audience of one.
Today's
drink is inspired by an absolutely hilarious tweet that was sent to me by Kimberly Adams, who I think at this point is officially our ghost host. Even when she's not here, she's here. She sent me a tweet 100%. By Jack Daniels, bourbon maker, that said, because I think as the world now knows, thanks to my love of the Batanga, I am very serious about Mexicoke as the only Coke to drink.
Yes.
Mexican Coke, the kind that comes in the bottle, the cane sugar. So Jack Daniels tweeted, Jack Daniels, cane sugar, real cane sugar, have a Jack Daniels and a Mexican Coke. The recipe, click below for the recipe.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then all of the comments were hysterical. Of course, they were like, oh, thank God you posted the recipe for a Jack and Coke. I don't think I could have ever figured that out. I've never been to a dive bar in my life.
Oh, man.
Anyway, all I had was bullet and limes, but I have a lifetime supply of Mexicoke, and I'm having myself a bourbon and Coke.
God, you know what I could go for right now, actually, is a bourbon and ginger ale.
Oh, so good. Such a good drink.
Isn't that good? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. And the beauty of it is you can make it really light and sort of coast through an afternoon on, a couple of them, or you can just whack yourself.
Or not, right, exactly. Or
not,
Not.
And for those of you who,
or not.
Today is, for a lot of reasons, is the or not kind of day. And for those who don't imbibe, look, sometimes I got to let off steam, and that's what I do. But you are welcome to this podcast anywho.
We see you.
So
we respect you.
We do. We totally do, for sure. What do you got? You want to go first?
Let's.
Okay, because yours is kind of a follow-up, right?
Mine is just a follow-up, and I just feel like we have to do it because we've talked about. We have talked about some version of this on this podcast for like a bajillion years. But so yesterday, we discussed. My news item was the possibility that Facebook might be facing an actual ad boycott, as opposed to, like a little slight uprising that wouldn't cause any change. And I said that my tiny little flame of hope was lit by Verizon coming in.
Right.
And then as of this morning, Friday, when we're speaking to you, Unilever, like the world's biggest advertiser, I believe, house of every brand you've ever heard of, also came and said, we are going to pull our ads. And roughly, 11 seconds after that, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg, who said yesterday in no uncertain terms that they would not change a single thing about their policies because of revenue pressures, said, okay, we will change a couple things because of revenue pressures.
I love that. Look, money talks, man. Money talks. And if you and look, I was the cynical one yesterday who said, listen, Facebook has 2 billion people, and so what's the big deal? And blah blah blah. Clearly, Zuckerberg is paying attention, and I should too, for sure.
Well, however, okay. So what Facebook said is, it will label some posts It basically said it will take a more aggressive hand in general on posts that it deemed to be racist or otherwise harmful with relation to health, things that glorified violence, like the original Donald Trump tweet that kind of like kicked this all off, and said notably that politicians would not be exempt, that it would include. So, but I think it was sort of, it was summed up perfectly by Marketplace tech producer Michael Lipkin, who said, this feels like the barest minimum of what they could be doing as a result of all of this economic pressure. And B, Jason Kint, who I follow on Twitter, who's like just a total Facebook critic, but digital ad guy, who said, like, let's not forget that what Facebook did today was say, we will not allow politicians to pay to run ads on our network that target people based on their race or ethnicity. But yesterday we did allow that.
Yeah.
Yesterday we did. So yeah.
Yep.
Barest minimum.
Yep. For sure. Related in a way, is this thing I want to talk to you about, and I'm going to need some guidance here. So it's not a new app, right? It's been around for like a year and a half, 2 years, but it's gotten a lot of bumps this week because people like Ted Cruz and Kelly McEnany, the White House press secretary, and Donald Trump Jr. have joined and made great show of it, and they all have 6-7-figure Twitter followers. It's a thing called, I don't even know how to pronounce it right, Parler, ou en français on peut dire parler, right? The French for to speak, and it is a social media, Twitter analog, right, that caters to the conservative movement, and in some cases the far right conservative movement. And here's what I want to do. I want to get your sense of the risk if this becomes as popular as Fox News, because you know how these things go, right? Everybody gets on it and they go, oh my God, this is great. And then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And you look around and you're like, oh man, what happened?
Right.
So,
we already have Facebook, so we do not have to worry about Parler becoming as big as Fox News, because there is already, despite what conservatives will tell you, there is already an almost completely unfettered platform for whatever speech you want. And on any given day, people are happy to point out on Twitter that the most promoted stories in Facebook's newsfeed will come from the very same outlets that that Parler recommends that you follow when you sign up, which I did today. God help me, because Jody Becker suggested.
No, look, I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
No, that's good. But I guess the root of my question is the not ecosystem, the bubble, right? And we talked the other day, I don't know if it was yesterday or whatever, about that those viral clips from those people at town commission meetings and town council meetings saying, you're interfering with God's right to breathe when you make me wear a mask, because those people are watching Fox News, which is saying masks are evil and they will impede your ability to breathe. What happens if this thing becomes the social media version of that, or are you not concerned?
No, I definitely am concerned. I really am. Right. I think anytime you have people saying, we're creating a special place on the internet just for us, and you can come here and say whatever you want, and also, no other viewpoints will be allowed or whatever. I don't think that's the claim that Parler's making, but it's saying this is a safe space for views that we believe are being censored. It's a problem. I don't know that it's any more of a problem because of network effects. It is very unlikely that this thing is going to take off to the extent that it will become an even bigger echo chamber than parts of Twitter already are, than Facebook already is, than Reddit already is. And, Tech Dirt did a great piece today already that was like, look, they're still going to have to take down content, or they're going to find themselves in exactly the same position that Gab, the chat app for white supremacists, basically, found itself in, which is, are you really going to be the place that unquestionably hosts, people who say they're going to shoot up a military base and then go do it?
Yeah.
And their terms of service make it very clear that they will definitely take down content.
Okay.
So I have a feeling that this will burn out, but that doesn't mean that, I don't want to in any way minimize the danger of misinformation, which I think we're starting to see is it is really a problem when people live in totally different information universes.
It kills people.
It kills people.
It kills people.
Yep. It literally, it is literally killing people right now. About 1,000 a day, I think, is what we're up to with respect to COVID.
Wear your masks. Wear your masks. Okay.
Yep.
This pause
But,
would
yuck.
be that place where this
We need help.
tone-shifting music might go. There we go.
Charlton, take the wheel.
Charlton, take the wheel.
See what I did there.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. All right. So, make me smile, Ms. Wood. You got two. Do you have two? Sorry, I've clicked
Nope.
over to the wrong
Maybe.
tab. Ooh, I hear
No,
it.
they're the same. They're the same. Do you hear the cocktail?
Yes, I do. I
Made
heard
me
the ice
smile.
cubes. God, I'm really wanting a bourbon and ginger ale right now. I love me a good beer, but man.
I think, you know what? It's a chaser because the ginger settles your stomach. And the beer can upset it a little bit with the hops.
Oh, God. Ginger settles.
Love
stuff.
Mom.
Sure. Okay, fine. I'll go with that. I just got beer up my nose.
That's definitely it. Yeah. So, hey, that's so funny that you just mentioned masks because 2 good data points with respect to masks. 1, New York City reports no protest-related upticks in COVID-19.
Oh, wow.
Like we all wondered what was going to happen when people went out. And I will tell you that every photo of protests that I have seen, protesters, I mean, 1, they were outdoors, and I think we're learning a lot more about outdoor transmission. But people were pretty diligent about wearing masks. And so
That's good.
I think that was
That's awesome.
a very valuable data point. Exactly. And
Yeah.
then someone tweeted, a guy from the assistant managing editor of the Philadelphia Inquirer. They did a graphic that said, over the last 2 weeks, cases have risen by 84% in states that don't require wearing masks in public. In states where mask wearing is mandatory, cases have fallen by 25%. And Nate Silver, noted buzzkill of polls.
I was thinking
Isn't
about
he?
him this morning as I was listening to the Daily. Yeah, for
He's
sure.
like the Neil deGrasse
Oh,
Tyson
yeah.
of data, like, wah, wah. Human, wah, wah.
Oh, man.
But he said, despite a lot of variables, for example, states where mask wearing is not mandatory also probably didn't put in strong shelter in place, right? So you might have some overlap in some policy areas, but it is a much stronger, he said, relationship than other aspects of COVID spread prevention, like mobility or restaurant reservations or partisanship or anything like that. I mean, increasingly and look, I am trying to take the empathetic view. Some people are just not wearing masks to be jerks, like that San Francisco Giant guy.
Yeah.
The old
I think
Aubrey,
that's- I think
whatever,
that's
Aubrey
true.
Huff.
Aubrey
That's
Huff, yeah.
crazy. Most people, though, and I really do believe this, it has not been properly socialized. For most people, this is a leadership and information bubble question.
Huh.
And now we are starting
y-
to see the data.
yeah.
I mean, there are people who are literally just finding out in America right now that masks work.
How is that possible?
That's the
How
bubble, man.
is that possible? Right, which goes to my previous point about parlayer. You know, boy, that was so. What's interesting is your use of the word socialized. Yes, leadership, and we've talked about that, and lead by example and all that stuff. But the idea that wearing masks should be socialized, wow, that was crystallizing for a second. Huh.
Hey, you're welcome.
Yeah, look, it's good.
But it kind of does
yes,
have to be,
thank
right?
you.
Like any
Yes,
any
for
change
sure.
in behavior, it does. And I want to, and I'm trying to encourage like my child because he keeps getting in fights with people on social media. And God love him, I appreciate his drive to fight. But I want to approach it with empathy. Like there are people who don't know. I mean, really, I respect it. The kid is like, I'm not backing down. And I'm like, okay.
I'm pretty sure he is his mother's son, actually, might I just say.
Oh, no, he is his father's son. They literally will
is that
say
right?
about fighting with each other, I just don't want him to win.
Oh, that's so funny.
Both of them will say that.
Oh, that's so funny.
I am doomed.
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
That's
Sorry.
actually really funny.
TMI side note.
Whatever. It's all good. It's all
Kid
good.
does-
The
the
beauty of
kid does like to
podcast
fight.
is you can be your genuine self.
But there's some
That's good.
empathy involved here. Like we can't shame everybody. Some people will literally have to be brought along with love because it will help us and help them. Wear your masks.
We're gonna
Love you.
wear your masks. We're gonna call it a day right there. We're gonna call it a day right there. We've got links to what we talk about today and every single day. MakeMeSmart.org. Click on the episode you're looking for. Lots of good links there. Also, send us your questions, comments, voice memos. MakeMeSmart@marketplace.org. We are back on Monday. I'm actually off. Who's in? Andy Euler? Euler's in?
I'll be here with Andy Euler, which is actually really, really appropriate because so much is happening in Texas right now. And Andy is on the ground in Texas. And so I think it's actually going to be a really interesting conversation.
Have you banished baseball just as a topic, just because I know Euler and that's what he does?
Yeah, I mean, can I really? I could try, but he's not right in front of me, so I can't reach over and slap it out of him.
You can. Yeah, right.
Nope.
Oh,
it's happening. And also
That's
baseball.
right.
Yes, there will be some baseball.
Yeah, he's helping us out. He is helping us out.
All right, switch.
Okay, all right. Well, wow. Make Me Smart is produced and directed by Sam Anderson. Our digital... Look, you got to give a guy some warning. Digital producer is Tony Wagner. He posts all the good links. Our senior producer is Jody Becker. Ben Heathcote does video for us. Today, actually, visiting his brand new niece, which is why we're not live streaming. That's a whole different deal. Our cursed video intern, who gets all the intern jobs, is Ethan Parrots. Erica Phillips does our newsletters and our smart speaker stuff.
Oh, Ethan Parrots, we don't deserve you. Today's program was engineered masterfully by Charlton Thorpe. Our theme music was composed by Ben Tolliday and Daniel Ramirez. The executive director of On Demand is Satara Nieves, and the senior vice president and general manager is Deborah Clark.
Oh, snap.